Welcome to Bhagwan Ki Baatein, the YouTube channel in which we talk only and only about God. In the previous capsule, we discussed about Pipaji, the great saint Pipaji. And this story then culminates into story of another great saint, Saint Narsi Mehta. Let's see what happens. How this story turns into the story of another great saint. So in the previous capsule, we had heard about the description about Pipaji. And while coming from Dwarika, Pipaji gave instructions to a tiger. We all remember. Let's do a bit of a recap. It then gave up its habit of killing and began to eat fallen leaves. He was not in reality a tiger, but was the husband of Parvati. In becoming an avatar, however, it was a skin of a tiger that he beheld. Because evil qualities entered into his thoughts, he became a tiger. Just as in dreams, one sees that which has been noticed in one's waking condition. So when Shiva became an avatar, it was his tiger skin that was seen. Therefore, it was that he was born as an avatar from the tiger. After 7 days passed, he died. But then again, in the city of Junagadh, in Kathiawar, Gujarat, he was born to a Nagar Brahmin. Day by day, he grew in stature and he was invested with the sacred thread. When he was 7 years of age, his mother and father died. His cousins, paternal uncle's sons, now cared for him. As the children of the village played, he also played amongst them. They played at Itinandu, Lingurchya, kissing games, hide and seek, hamam, hamari, and diving. Those were the games played at that time. Vaghodi, Atyapatya, Jijya, Bokat, Agalgotya, Feranvatya, Buvare, Chakre, and they caught each other in the square. Thus he played many childish games. After some time that passed, a most extraordinary thing happened. In playing these childish games, his whole life was now being spent, but he did not remember the cloud-dark Krishna. Now on one occasion, after playing various kinds of games, Narsi Mehta hastened to his home. He said to his sister-in-law, "I am very thirsty. Please give me some water." The other replied, "What hard work have you been doing that you've come here? This very childish and disobedient boy has driven his parents to death. He plays day and night and eats like a glutton. You do not study and you spend your life in vain. Your wife will hereafter cry, 'You useless and impudent boy.'" Such were the harsh words spoken to him by the wife of his eldest brother. This brought him to repentance, and Narsi Mehta then started to go away. He went a long way off towards a forest and thought to himself, "My fate is a very unhappy one, but it is very powerful and hard to resist. To lose a mother in childhood, to lose a wife in youth, and to lose a son in adult age must be called the anger of God. I am now receiving the fruit of the deeds I committed in former births." As he was thus speaking to himself, he saw a forest further on. Coming about four miles from his village, he saw the beginning of a very great forest. After Narsi Mehta had noticed, he began to look about on all sides. Suddenly, just before him, he saw a temple of Shiva. Narsi Mehta entered it and there saw Lord of Kailash. It was deserted forest and there was no passing by of any of the men. Taking courage, he worshipped the feet of Shiva. It was Upamanyu, the son of Brahmin, who asked his mother for a cup of milk, and because she did not give it to him, he sulkily sat down. It was the king Utanpad, whose son was the child Dhruv. He also sulked and prayed to the god in Vaikunt. In the same way, Narsi Mehta felt dissatisfied and cried, "O filler of the universe, Lord of the universe, care for me." I am helpless one. He lay himself on the body of the holder of the pivot bow and husband of Parvati. He discarded all food, including fruit, nor did he drink water. After 7 days had passed, Lord of Kailash, with a perplexed mind, thought to himself, in his devotion, Narsi has offered to me all his body. People offer to me perfume, sacred rice, flowers, sandalwood paste, all kinds of brilliant jewels, strings of pearls, and golden ornaments. By spending an immense sum of money, some build temples of Shiva, and with great delight offer to me the water of Bhagirathi. Some come and offer to me a lac of leaves of bale tree, but no one has ever offered to me his whole body. Caring for their body, they make use of many other means. All their knowledge has, however, gone in vain. The life of the world does not meet them. Now, seeing the unwavering devotion of Narsi Mehta, God was pleased. He now revealed himself in his form as Mahadev with qualities. He who has 10 arms and 5 faces and has a serpent around his neck as an ornament. He who has yellow-colored matted hair on his head and ashes rubbed all over his body, manifesting himself in this form as the holder of the Pinak bow, then raised by Narsi Mehta and gave him his assurance not to fear. He said to him, "My child, my bhakt, I am now pleased with you. Tell me everything which your heart desires." Narsi Mehta, having heard these words, embraced the feet of Lord of Kailash and said, "You have become pleased with me and given to me the word of assurance. I am but an ignorant child. I do not know the best things to ask for. Give me your blue-throated one, that which you are most fond of, than your own life. Just as the infant, ignorant of its mother, does not know the proper time, but is at all times pleasing to his mother, and in her love she adorns him with ornaments. So, Lord of the universe, you are pleased with me today and are ready to give me a boon with your own lips. So give me a helpless one, whatever you are pleased with." The holder of the Pinak bow, Shiva, with a smiling face, was perplexed in his mind, as said to himself, "Never have I seen such a clever bhakt." In reply, Shiva next said to Narsi Mehta, "I am more fond of Sri Krishna, who is the object of worship of all other gods, without telling Ganga or Parvati. I repeat the name of Lord Sri Krishna, but I am more fond of stories of the saints. You say to me, 'Show me the secrets of your heart.' But if a beggar asks the king for his kingdom, it would be of no use whatever. If a beggar asks a miser for his wealth, he is not made happy by him. If one asks for gift of his wife from a libertine, the one asking for his receives no honor." The other replied, "Holder of the Pinak bow, you give me illustrations and try to make me understand, but still I have a doubt in my mind. Seeing that King Bali was a very generous man, Shri Vaman, Vishnu, in his 5th avatar, went to him in the form of a beggar. He at once gave him his kingdom and also made an offering of himself to him. King Harishchandra was a very good king. Vishwamitra, in the form of beggar, having asked for a gift, he, Harishchandra, gave to him his kingdom, his wife, his son, and thus he preserved his goodness. So, O generous Lord of Kailash, if you are pleased with me, show me him who is dear to you." And with those words, we end this capsule here. We'll carry on with this very, very invigorating and inspiring and interesting story of Bhakt Narsi Mehta. We'll connect with you. Until that time, goodbye, good luck, and Sadar Pranam.